Hello there, this is Vera from Fiber Tours, and this week we have a very important topic to discuss: how to plan a perfect trip to Russia. Russia is huge, unknown, with amazing history, vast territory, hundreds of great sights to see. So how to do it right? Ask yourself a question: what's my favorite way to travel? When you start searching for touristic information, Russia has it all. If you're a cruise lover, no problem, there are options available for you. If you like to travel by train and already did Rocky Mountaineer and Maharajas Express, bam, the longest railway in the world is at your service. If you like group land tours, there's a great variety of tours available for you. Another important point is how much time do you have for your trip in Russia. If you have only a week, then my recommendation would be to concentrate on Moscow and St. Petersburg. There are many things to see in both of these cities, and I am always for a good exploration of the place instead of doing it in a rush and missing out on important things. If you have at least 9 days to travel, then I would suggest to include a tour called Golden Ring. Believe me, even Russians do that. When I was around 10 years old, my mom took me for such a tour, and trust me, it's worth it. You will learn many interesting facts about the history of Russia. The tour is called Golden Ring because those cities included in the tour are making a ring very close to Moscow. There are more than 10 cities in the tour, but we suggest at least 3 for foreigners for a visit, which are Sergei, Suzdal and Vladimir. The tour is only 2 days, and it will be a great extension to your Moscow stay. Plus, if you have an extra day in St. Petersburg, I would suggest a visit to Veliki Novgorod, from where, let's say, Russia has started. We just downloaded a video last week about Veliki Novgorod, so please consider it in your travel plan. If you have about 2 weeks saved for Russia, this is already something to talk about. Volga River cruise is a very good option. There are 2 routes available, from Moscow to St. Petersburg and from Moscow down to Astrakhan. With the first option, you go up to the north and visit Uglich, Kizhi, Mandragi and Goritse. The second option, way more extensive, and you visit way more cities and even enter Caspian Sea, but bear in mind that the cruise from Moscow to Astrakhan is available only twice a year. If you have 2 weeks and more time to travel, then my usual recommendation out of the popular trips is a trans-Siberian journey. 2 regular routes, Moscow to Vladivostok, and this way you see entire Russia. And the second one, from Moscow to Beijing, and this way you visit Russia, Mongolia and China. We filmed more than 5 videos about the trans-Siberian, so please save an evening to watch them all together, and maybe we will inspire you for a real journey. There are many great destinations in Russia: Kamchatka with volcanoes and geysers, north of Russia with their northern lights, Altai with beautiful forests and mountains. Think what part of Russia you would like to discover. Imagine how you explore Russia. It will really help to narrow down your choices and help us to plan a perfect trip for you in Russia. When you visit Russia, don't forget about our cultural heritage. Such evening activity as a visit to the theater or any folk show is a great way to complete your day in Russia and to check something what Russians are really great in. Russian ballet school is world famous, and this is something what you don't want to miss. The same with the traditional Russian dancing and singing. Remember though to book your tickets in advance, as they sell out really quickly, and especially in the summer season. Theaters to consider: Bolshoi Theater in Moscow, Mariinsky and Mikhailovsky theaters in St. Petersburg.
Learn
some Russian words. Just like everywhere else, locals like when you do an effort and try to speak their language. Russians are very warm and hospitable people, and making this small step, you will see how much it will bring you back. Below the video, we will post several phrases so you can practice your basic Russian. No matter when you travel, always check weather forecast. No, honestly, weather can be very moody and change a couple of times during the day. Always bring warm sweaters and comfortable shoes. I'm pretty sure you don't want to spend your precious time running in malls for clothing. We have already done a video about the Russian money, so I'm not gonna stop here for long. To sum up, the only currency that we accept in Russia is Russian ruble, nothing else. But you can definitely bring the most popular currencies to exchange in the local banks, US dollars and euros. I'm not talking here about the guidebooks. You can easily buy them in any bookstore or online, so I leave it to you. I mean here what you shall read to maybe get closer to the Russian mentality or so-called native Russian spirit. And when you are here, get familiar with some important names.
Александр Сергеевич Пушкин.
Александр Сергеевич Пушкин.
Александра Сергеевича Пушкина.
Пушкин наше все.
Believe me, you're going to hear the name of Alexander Pushkin very many times, so why not to read at least one of his poems? It's not War and Peace, which you should also read. The one that I would like to recommend is way shorter. It's called Yevgeny Onegin, or it's sometimes translated as Eugene Onegin. It's a true masterpiece in Russian, and we even learned the part of it by heart in school. The Princess of Siberia, another great book about the noble lady Maria Volkonsky, who joined her husband in exile in Siberia in the 19th century, and I'm more than sure that you will really enjoy reading it. I do know that foreigners are more familiar with the name of Anton Chekhov, so if you didn't have the time before to read any of his short stories, now is the right time to do it. Two things to read: Cherry Orchard and Three Sisters. Actually, there are several more fiction books that I would like to recommend, but I will leave them in the description for those who are interested. But a good book on the Russian history will be also very useful to navigate through the 1000-year history of our country. Attention! Most probably you need a visa. Really, there are only several countries whose citizens don't need a Russian visa, so please think about it in advance. Our company Fiber Tours provides with full visa service, which is of course way easier than if you do it on your own. But whether you do it with us or if you do it on your own, please be ready that entire process will take around 3 weeks and that you will need to send away your passport. Pick the time when you don't need it. Another important thing that I would like to mention is immigration card or registration card, which you will be given when you enter the country. You're gonna need it when you leave Russia, so please be careful with a small piece of paper. Don't lose it anywhere and have it all the time with your documents. If I forgot anything or didn't mention what you think is important for your upcoming journey to Russia, please leave a comment. If you have a question or need an advice, also don't hesitate to leave a note. We will be glad to assist. This was Vera from Fiber Tours. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.